Living in a nursing home after 80? Don't let go of these 5 things. Dear friends and respected elders, aging is a journey none of us can escape. And one day, if we must leave the familiar comfort of our home to move into a nursing facility, what's the scariest part? It's not the unfamiliar room, not the simple meals, but rather the feeling of gradually losing the things that make us who we are. But don't worry, because in today's video, we'll walk through 5 essential things you must never lose, even after turning 80 and entering a completely new environment. These are not material possessions or luxuries, they are the core values that keep your dignity, joy, and identity alive. Each part includes a real-life story, from Vietnamese elders whose quiet wisdom gives us much to reflect on. And the last one might just change how you view this stage of life entirely. If this is your first time visiting the channel, feel free to hit subscribe, so you won't miss out on more warm, insightful content for healthy and joyful aging. Now, let's begin with the very first thing to protect. First, personal autonomy, even in the smallest things. The first, and perhaps most vital thing not to lose in a nursing home, is your sense of personal autonomy. Many elders think that once they enter a care facility, they just leave everything to others. Mealtimes, activity schedules, medications, all are taken care of. But when we stop making even small choices for ourselves, life starts to feel cold and mechanical. I once met Mr. Tone, 83 years old, who moved into a facility after a mild stroke. At first, he felt helpless, but he made a decision. Every morning, he would pick his own outfit and write down one thing he wanted to do that day, whether it was calling his granddaughter or sitting outside for 20 minutes. Those simple choices kept him connected to himself. Because when we still get to choose, we are still alive. When we surrender everything, we merely exist. You can decorate your room to your taste, decide to skip a group activity for quiet time, or simply turn on your favorite music and close your eyes to relive a memory. Autonomy doesn't mean controlling everything. It means preserving the small rituals that make you, you. Losing that, and you may start to feel like a bystander in your own life. But keeping it, even in small ways, reminds you that you're still in charge of your own happiness. Second, connection with the outside world. The second thing you must protect is your connection with the outside world. In a care facility, your surroundings naturally shrink. The familiar street sounds, casual morning chats with neighbors, or the laughter of grandchildren, all begin to fade. And if you're not careful, you may soon feel forgotten. I remember Ms. Han, 84, who moved into a nursing center in Binh Duong. She had 2 sons and 4 grandkids. In the beginning, they called and texted often. But as months passed, the messages dwindled to silence. Instead of feeling angry, she understood they were busy. But she didn't stay silent. Every week, she sent handwritten postcards to each grandchild, sometimes a short poem, sometimes a childhood story, sometimes a drawing of a Bon Chung with pencil. And slowly, they began to respond, then call, then visit. She kept the thread alive and stayed connected. Don't wait for people to reach out. Be the one to call first. Write first. Reconnect first. If you're not tech savvy, ask a caregiver to help with a video call. If you can't write, leave a voice message. Can't meet an old friend? Journal your memories and share them with someone. Don't let your world shrink to 4 walls and 3 meals. Expand it with conversations, letters, photos, even just one hello. Because when you're still connected to the world, you're reminded, you still belong, you still matter, you're still living. THIRD, a purpose to live for. Many people believe that life slows down in a nursing home, that it's time to rest. But the truth is, without a purpose, the spirit dims quickly. Purpose isn't about achieving big things anymore. At this stage, it might be as simple as caring for a potted orchid, writing poetry, or welcoming a newcomer with a warm smile. I met Mr. Vu, 82, who entered a care home after losing his wife. He rarely spoke, but one day, he noticed a new resident looking anxious at dinner. Mr. Vu approached and invited him to sit together. Since then, he made it his mission to greet every newcomer with kindness. The staff even called him the reception chief. And with that purpose, he woke up earlier, dressed better, smiled more. Dear elders, everyone needs a reason to wake up in the morning. Some write in a journal. Some make poems. Some remind roommates about medication times. Some tend to balcony plants. Some simply share their life stories with younger visitors. With a purpose, there's light. Without it, the days blur together. So don't let age or environment extinguish that flame. Purpose doesn't need to be grand, it only needs to mean something to you. Fourth, emotional independence. Some think that in a care facility, your feelings are tied to what happens around you, shared living spaces, fixed schedules, physical limitations. It's easy to feel passive, vulnerable, and dependent, but never forget, your emotional world is the last thing that truly belongs to you. I recall Ms. Tu, 84, a retired literature teacher from Tianjiang. After a fall, she had to move into a home. She missed her little house, her white cat, the hibiscus plants by her porch. But rather than sink into sadness, she created a morning ritual: sit by the window, sip coffee, and write 3 things she was grateful for each day. One day it was the birds chirping. Another, a stranger smiled at me, and sometimes I walked 5 laps on my own. That simple habit helped her find peace and became her anchor in a shifting world. Emotional independence is not being cold or distant. It's about soothing yourself instead of waiting to be comforted. It's about choosing joy, not waiting for someone to bring it. It's about saying no when tired, protecting your emotional space, and reminding yourself, I'm still whole. I'm not here to carry everyone else's burdens. When you hold on to that, you'll feel lighter, even when the world outside is heavy. Because inner peace is yours, and always will be. Fifth, staying curious about life. At 80, many think, I've lived long enough. There's nothing left to learn. But when we let go of curiosity, life begins to feel small, dull, and lifeless. Curiosity isn't just for the young. Curiosity is a sign that you're still fully alive, at any age. I met Mr. Kwong, 87, a retired librarian, when he first arrived at the facility. He was quiet and withdrawn. But one day, he overheard a conversation about tracing family ancestry online. Intrigued, he asked for help using a tablet. Within weeks, he began researching his family tree, writing to distant relatives, and exploring online records. Every morning, he woke early, brewed tea, and turned on the tablet with a childlike spark in his eyes. That curiosity reignited his sense of purpose, making every day feel fresh. Being curious doesn't mean learning technology or taking up a big project. It can be learning the name of a new flower blooming in the yard, asking your roommate about their first love, listening to a new kind of music, trying a folk game, or simply asking, what can I learn today? When you stay curious, your world stays wide. Stop being curious, and everything feels like repetition and waiting. So, hold on to one simple question each morning. Let that be your spark. Because curiosity isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline to vitality and meaning. The 5 things that keep you alive inside. Dear elders, moving into a nursing home does not mean life is over. It doesn't mean you're just waiting for meals, for medicine, or for visitors. It could be the start of a quieter, but deeper chapter, if you hold on to what truly matters. The 5 things we've shared today. 1. Personal autonomy. 2. Connection with the outside world. 3. Purpose. 4. Emotional independence. 5. Curiosity are the pillars that will keep you joyful, grounded, and fully yourself, no matter your age or environment. They cost nothing. They require no perfect health or wealth. They only need awareness and daily choice. I've met people in their 90s who radiated joy because they held on to these things. And others who faded early, not from illness, but from letting go too soon. So if you're living in a nursing home now, or preparing to move into one, don't let anyone tell you your best days are behind you. They may look different now, but your spirit is still alive, and still deeply needed. If this video gave you something to reflect on, leave a comment. I'm still living every day fully. And don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting and meaningful content each week. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. See you again in the next video.